Hey there, Chad here for the AI Content Dojo. Are you a marketer? I want to show you how AI can help you create better product copy faster. Because you know that in today's era, the consumers are expecting the highest kind of quality. The company or your brand needs a marketing team that can move fast and create copy that's necessary for any given sort of scenario that's coming up. And this is where artificial intelligence can help you or your team streamline your process and create effective copy kind of quickly without sort of stealing all of your time and all that kind of stuff. So if you're ready to augment your copywriting workflow with AI, this video is going to show you how to do some really cool tricks with ShortlyAI to make that happen. Now, I'm not going to tell you that ShortlyAI is the best AI copywriting app on the market at a fantastic price. I'm going to let you form your own opinion based on what you see in this video. Okay, let's go. Just skip over this table of contents real quick. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this article real quick first, and then I'll show you an actual live demo of it afterwards. So AI, obviously, these tools that are coming out on the market lately, they'll help you create content, fresh content from scratch in minutes, right? And something that used to take you an hour can probably take you just, 10 or 15 minutes, unless you spend some time editing, maybe 20 minutes. I don't mean editing, but like really kind of focusing and honing it in and tweaking it to meet your needs more specifically. But in any case, it still will significantly speed up the time it takes for you to create this content. And so I'm going to go through some ways that you can create content, like product descriptions, marketing copy, feature benefits. You can get IDA, BAB, which is before after bridge, pass, ad copy, unique value propositions, landing page copy, all that kind of stuff. You're going to be able to do all of this really fast inside of Shortly, all in one screen. And that's one of the superpowers of ShortlyAI that only it has. Okay, so you're going to start with a basic description of your product or your service. And so this is sort of the easy way to get started, right? You're only going to write maybe 10 or 25, maybe 30. I mean, really, you can write as much as you want. But what I'm trying to show here is that you can start with a little and you can end up with a lot, a ton. So, I want you to understand that this is your assistant helping you write this. This is not something that's taking over for you and doing everything. So it's important to know that you're going to need to work with it as you go through the process. And I'll showcase that here as we go through this. So for this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the description or a product description that I've used quite a lot in examples. It's for Birdie. It's our revolutionary new backyard bird feeder with a 360-degree camera. a 360-degree Ultra HD camera, an attractive award-winning design, and it's even squirrel-proof. So, this big box in red here, I made it, large and ugly like that on purpose because the way that these AI tools work, they're trained off of information that's existed for a long time, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of documents and web pages and things like that. But it's not trained on like everything up to the minute, right? And also, if this is your product, chances are that the AI has no idea what your product is. So you have to provide that information to the AI first. So especially if it's got a name, like in this case, Birdie. So Birdie, what is Birdie? Birdie is a revolutionary new backyard bird feeder with a camera and so on, right? So once you've got that, you can move on. This is where the magic kind of starts. You got to turn that basic description into a full description, something with more meat to it. And so that meat is going to become what is useful down the road for the other parts of the other material that we create using the AI. And so, of course, Shortly has the ability to really help you with this. Basically, you start right here with the 10 or 25, 30 words that you wrote previously for the basic description. And then you use instruct, write a product description for the above. Just run that right under that basic description and Usually what happens is you get a nice couple of extra sentences out of it, sometimes more. And in this case, when I was writing this article, I got, if you have a passion for animal life and find yourself frequently in nature or want to capture the beauty of the outside world as it moves about your backyard, Birdie is the perfect product for you. Cool. So we just add back in our own product description, right? Right here is where I'm at in the text. You combine those and you end up with a more full description. Now, review the content. Make sure that you tweak it, make some changes, kind of bring it into your voice. It's really important that you do that here early, because for the rest of this video, this content is going to be used as a seed or a source for the AI to use to create the content, that you're seeking in the future. So, spend some time here. Make sure that this is the perfect description that you want. Okay. Now, moving on. I didn't like the word happens. So the word happens is in this right here in the description. I'm like, happens is kind of weak. Shortly does have the ability to find synonyms for you. This is more or less an aside. I'm not really going to cover this too much in the demo, but it's basically, you can say, give me some synonyms for the word happens. And in this case, it said, occur, transpire, happenings. I just picked transpire. So that's what's going to be used in the rest of this video. All right. So now you want some product features, features to benefits, that is, where you want to be able to showcase a feature of your product and how it benefits the customer. Well, ShortlyAI can do that magically, almost, it seems. And if you have a passion for birds, so you start here, you bring in that full product description, and then you run the instruct that says, write some feature benefits for the above. That basically tells Shortly that you want those feature benefits for the above. You notice how it's a natural language kind of request. You're just saying, hey, give me some feature benefits, like as if you turned to your AI assistant and they're doing it for you. The results I got this time, like you'll never miss a moment with our Ultra HD camera. No more squabbles over who gets to feed the birds, because you can use your phone or tablet and things like that. It's not too bad. Of course, don't forget that you need to tweak it kind of as you go. You should probably never fully take the AI generated content completely as is. You should always tweak it to meet your voice or how you like to write, or match your company's branding and things like that. But it's definitely a fantastic start. So let's see if we can find some marketing ideas next. And this is kind of an interesting one, because sometimes we get really focused in on what our product is and all that kind of stuff, and we forget to kind of look around it. And Shortly has the ability to give you some extra kind of thoughts to think of when you're going forward with your marketing and things like that. Again, it's one of those instruct, write some marketing copy for the above, for that full description again. And we end up with something like Birdie is the next generation of bird feeder, featuring a camera and beautiful design. Birds love it because it's so easy to use and squirrel proof too. That's pretty funny. Use our app to watch the birds from afar. That's just interesting information that you should keep in mind. And I noticed that it even mentioned AI. Our AI even characterizes each bird who stops by. That's nowhere in this description. It's new, right? And so I think that's interesting, because maybe your product, does have that AI, or should. Maybe, you should probably think about it at that point. But let's move on. Let's do past now. We're going to do, what is it? Problem, agitate, and solve. It's a little, a template of sorts that copywriters will use to try to attract potential customers, showing them an understanding of their problem and then how it's going to be solved. And so, of course, Shortly can help you with a simple write a pass for the above. And the results I got were, sometimes you have to leave the house, but you still want to be able to watch your favorite bird friends. Maybe you need a backyard bird feeder so you can watch your favorite birds and their antics whenever. Or maybe it's a gift for someone who's always dreamed of watching birds in nature, but doesn't have the option. And then the solution is Birdie is perfect for any person who loves bird watching, and so on. Pretty good. At least it's at least a good 60 or 80% start, depending on what you need. And so let's work next on trying to create some unique value propositions for your products. And that means coming up with like the selling points that are unique or attractive for your product, and you want to showcase them to clients and customers. Same thing, write a unique value proposition for the above using that same full description. And the results that I got this time: the feeder with HD camera for a bird's eye view in your backyard, never miss a moment. Birdie has an anti-squirrel cage. Watch your backyard while you're away. Birdie is the ultimate backyard bird feeder experience. Things like that you can use to be in some of your marketing copy. You notice that there's seems like extra bullets, right? There's more than just 4 or so. And that's because I ran the command a few times, I wanted more options to choose from. And so there's nothing stopping you from running the same command over and over. You could run it and have a list of 100 and choose from the ones that you want. You could do that. It's up to you. It's just another benefit of Shortly. You can run and rerun those commands as much as you want. Let's see if we can get some ad copy next. Same thing, write some ad copy for the above. Natural language. What I got was Birdie's next generation bird feeder featuring a camera and beautiful design. These are types of things that you would mix and match to kind of bring and merge them together into creating sort of like maybe social media ads and stuff like that. This is one of the things too that I know that Shortly is tweaking. So this is probably going to change soon in the future, but I'm just showcasing that it's something that's possible. So here's probably the ultimate thing. After you've got your landing pages created, you got your copy that you want for your marketing and materials and all that stuff. One of the most important things you can do for your products is having a frequently asked questions page, right? Where you're kind of overcoming some limiting beliefs for that customer, that potential customer who's come to your page, and maybe they still have in the back of their mind some kind of lingering doubt or something, even after reading all your awesome copy. And answering questions is important. And here's something that's really interesting with Shortly. It has the ability to create the questions about your product that you can then answer ahead of time to kind of preempt the limiting belief that those potential customers have. Again, same thing, full product description. As you can tell, that's super important. So definitely spend the time to make sure that is really, really topic rich, full of all the keywords and everything that you want for your product, so that Shortly has some really good words and content to work with to create all this extra content for you. In this case, questions. So create some questions for the above. And I ran it a few times and I got back some stuff like, what is Birdie? Why should I buy Birdie? When is the right time to use your Birdie? How much does it cost? Was there any input from bird watchers in the development of the product? That's awesome. What features does it have? Would you recommend this to someone interested in bird watching? Why did you make it so squirrel proof? What makes it award winning? All these questions. You could come up with probably 100 different questions. Just keep running the command over and over. And I'm pretty sure that this is probably one of the best features as far as a marketing team might enjoy, that Shortly is capable of doing for you. So that's enough for the copy. Let's just kind of do a quick recap. What makes ShortlyAI special for copywriters? Well, it's the amazingly flexible interface, really. You can create all that copy just in one screen with just a few commands. You don't have to jump around between forms. There's no flipping pages. It's all just right there, right in front of you. That makes it scale so well so that you can kind of work through your own pace. You could even create your own templates for each project that you're working on and just kind of copy them in and run them through Shortly to work really fast. It's that kind of tech that really kind of augments agencies and the marketing team and the writers. So it's an augment too. I know this probably sounds a little scary. You're listening to this, you're a copywriter, and you're like, whoa, this AI is writing way too much. It's what I used to do. It's not for saying goodbye to writers. It's more like shifting the responsibility from pure writing to writing and editing, because it's augmenting, not sort of taking over. You can't use these tools to completely generate the content. You have to be very careful with that. Because if these tools do completely generate, you'll end up with some factual errors sometimes, or just kind of weird, fluffy content that you need to fix. So always just try and work with the AI. Let it do some writing and then edit. You do some writing and then let it take over for you too, that kind of stuff, and you'll end up with a great product. So at the beginning of this video, I asked you, I told you that I wasn't going to tell you that I think that ShortlyAI is the best, but I wanted you to think of it for yourself. So I'm honestly curious. Do you think ShortlyAI could be your best new tool for copywriting? I think it is. It's my personal opinion. But I'm curious what you think. And if you head over into the AI Content Dojo Facebook group, help me out, drop an answer. I'd be curious to hear what you think. And of course, I use all feedback to help me produce more and better content to help maybe you or others like you. And I thank you for stopping by. Let me switch over to Shortly now and just kind of show it in action a little bit. So remember, we started at the beginning with just a few words, right? Like this. So we want a more full product description now. So I'm going to write a product description for the above. So now this is live. This is in Shortly. If you haven't seen Shortly yet, this is what the interface looks like. It's nice, clean, blank slate sort of. I'm zoomed way in, so it kind of looks a little bit packed, but it's definitely not. Like normally it's kind of more like this. On the left here, you have some of the stats for your writing. You have an article brief, which isn't really necessary for this case, but you would put in here some content maybe about your product if you wanted to be safe and have the AI write better for you. Let me just go ahead and put that in there, and I'll just say write marketing copy. Write marketing copy for Birdie, our revolutionary product. Okay. And then over here, I always just set this to a little. This does not affect the instruct command, so you don't have to worry about that. This is only when you're trying to you let the AI write for you in certain cases. And I'll show that a little bit, but I like to set that to a little. Okay, so Birdie is our revolutionary new backyard bird feeder. We need a longer product description, so let's go ahead and run this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put I've already got everything staged, so I don't have to write it out for you. But what I'm going to do is put my mouse cursor or put the cursor at the very end of the command, and then I'm going to hold down Shift, Command, and hit Enter. And what that'll do is Command Enter starts the write for me. But if you look over here in the lower right hand corner, there's a little icon here that shows the cheat sheet. So Command Enter will run the command, right? But if you hold down Shift when you run that command, it'll keep the command there instead of replacing it. So that's what I'm going to do just to showcase this to you. Okay, so Shift, Command, Enter. Let's see what the AI comes up with. All right, and I got Grammarly fixing stuff. Let me turn that off. Okay, so then we would take this, go ahead and remove this, and we would take this because I want to just put it down here below. And we would paste in that and our own, right, to come up with the more full description. Okay, so I'm not going to use that one, but we're going to continue through. So we're at the point now where we want some feature benefits. Let's just run that. In all these cases and all these examples, it's using the same full description, and this is the part where you really need to make sure that it's a nice, full, topic-rich, keyword-rich description, because that'll help the AI create more and better content. Okay, so there's some feature benefits for you. Those are pretty nice. That I think they'll help you come up with, of course, like I said, you should be editing these anyways, but it's definitely a boost to get you more productive. Let's come up with some marketing copy. Good copy, good copy. Our flower pot style is perfect for any garden. That's nice. All right, let's see if we can get past problem, agitate, solve. This one's a little bit tricky for Shortly, actually. Sometimes it doesn't quite finish the whole thing, and then you have to kind of let the write for me finish it. All right. You have a love for beauty and nature. Your backyard is perfect for bird watching, but you want to start making sure the birds are safe. All right. Yeah. Our birdie was designed. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty good, actually. A little bit of tweaking, and you should have a pretty decent pass content right there. All right. Let's see what the unique value propositions look like. Ooh, Birdie is a feeder for people with a passion for bird watching. Nice. Okay, so there you go. Some unique value proposition stuff, and then add copy. I'm just going to go through the rest of these pretty quickly because, well, I guess there's only 2 more, so we're almost done. All right, so here's where in add copy you would take this and you kind of mix and match this to formulate your more full article or ad, depending on where you're putting it, right? If it's a Google ad or a Facebook ad or something like that. And then questions. This is the part that is just the best part, I think. I love these questions that it comes up with. Sometimes they're crazy and way off, but yeah. How big is it? How much does it cost? Does a battery last a single charge? How many birds? Is there an IP rating? Look at that. Who would have... So, okay, here's where a little trick for you to be able to get more questions like this. One thing you could do is you could probably remove this because you don't want that getting in the way, because the AI is really good at picking up on patterns. So what you do is come here and you're already in this, let me fix that first. You're already in this pattern of bullets, right? So start the bullet. You notice it's dash space, so dash space, and then click this right for me over here. And it should come up with more questions. Uh-oh, there's something wrong. Yep, this does happen from time to time, but let's see. I wonder what the issue is. Well, one-time thing. Yeah. So, yeah, it does sometimes run off and try and write its own kind of stuff. Does it have a protective cap? Is it dishwasher safe? I never thought about that, because there might be times when you do want to clean it. Wouldn't that be cool if a bird feeder was dishwasher safe? You just dump out the seed and all that kind of stuff and then rinse it off and throw it in the dishwasher. So anyways, you can just kind of use that, or you could even use that command still, the /instruct, where you would do, instruct, write some questions, or give me some questions. I like that better. It's natural language. Like, give me some questions for the above. And then if you hold down Shift, Command, Enter. So what happens though is you might end up starting to get a little bit of the similar questions, because what's going to happen is the instruct commands, the context for this is everything inside of this and everything above it. But you notice there's a / here, so that blocks the context, that stops it there. So what happens is basically this is being used to create the questions. It has no idea what these questions are below it, so it's not going to be able to determine on whether the question is already in use or not, and it's also not going to be able to use these questions to produce more questions. So you could put it above like that and see what happens. This is just an experiment. So you can see how it kind of starts repeating some. Can you mount it on a pole or a tree? Yep. So yeah, so it's seeing the stuff above and it's coming up with some of the similar ones. And that's usually not how I use this command anyways. But just to show you, there's a bunch of questions here that might have been a little bit difficult to come up with on your own. You might have had to have your product out in the world for a while and have actual customers. Of course, you're still going to listen to those when the actual customers are using it and coming up with questions for you. But this would be a good start to getting a bunch of questions ready for your product before the release or maybe a new version or something like that comes out. And so there we go. That's basically a quick guide on how you can use ShortlyAI to augment your copywriting. And I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff to this video. help the channel grow. I want to create more content just like this to, showcase Shortly and other AI tools eventually too, to make the most of your time and make you more productive. And definitely go over to the Facebook group, because over there we have some awesome conversations going with ways to make Shortly even better for you. And until next time, take care.